Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is almost my birthday week and I am going to the bookstore. Today actually is a day full of books. I'm going to the bookstore. I have some books on hold to pick up from the library. I was doing something else. Oh, I'm picking up groceries. That's not book related. There was something else book related. Oh, that's what it was. I have also started ordering some of the books that I'm giving my sisters for Christmas, and I have some in the mail that were delivered yesterday, so I'm gonna swing by my mailbox to pick that up. So many fun book things. Anyways, I don't necessarily have anything specific I'm looking for at the bookstore. I'm just gonna go see what I find and giving myself permission to buy something. I'm very excited. I'll keep you updated.
I had such a great time just browsing the bookstore. It had been so long since I had just walked the shelves and browsed and had time to look and pick books up and read the descriptions. It was just so fun to be in a bookish space and look at all the books. I saw several books that I've been eyeing, like Taylor Jenkins Reid, and some beautiful copies of Song of Achilles. I loved that book so much when I read it last year. Some witchy books that I was eyeing with gorgeous deckled edges, and several titles that I did not end up picking on this shopping trip, but the titles really intrigued me, so I wrote them down for future reference.
Okay, I had so much fun in the bookstore. I did a lot of browsing, and also I have nowhere to set my phone, so I apologize if it's just really moving around so much. I'm doing my best to balance it against the steering wheel and try to not be moving it a ton. Anyways, I'll show you what I picked. I had so many ideas. I was like, I think I'll go with this one. And then of course I browsed another shelf and found other options. Anyways, here's what I ended up getting. Okay, so I filmed showing all of my books and reading the blurbs, but then my phone was just shaking so much it was bugging me. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to the library, pick up my books on hold there, and then when I get home, I will do a reveal for all of my books when I can set up my tripod and keep my camera from shaking. So I will be back. Okay, I am back home and now I can talk more about the books that I got when my phone is set up on the tripod and I'm not trying to balance it and not shake my hand. So first I'm gonna go over the stack I got from the library. I only got 3 today, and honestly, I'm still not doing a ton of reading, generally speaking. So I may not get to these before they're due, but my name came up on the holds list and I decided to just pick them up and see what I get to. The first one, I accidentally or unintentionally got the large print version, but that's, oh, sorry about the glare from my ring light. The last one, it's The Wedding by Jason Rekulak? I don't know how you say it. Some of the description is hidden by the sticker from my library, but I'm getting the vibe that this guy, Frank, hears from someone for the first time in 3 years, and she invites him to her wedding. Oh, her daughter. I think that might say daughter under the sticker. Hasn't talked to his daughter in 3 years, and she calls to invite him to the wedding. It seems Maggie failed to mention she's marrying Aidan Gardner, the son of a billionaire. Feeling out of place, Frank focuses on reconnecting with Maggie and getting to know her new family. But Aidan is withdrawn and evasive. Maggie doesn't seem to have time for him, and the locals are disturbingly hostile to the Gardners. Frank needs to know more about this family, but if he pushes too hard, he could lose Maggie forever. So I think it's like a thriller or some sort of, type of thriller. The next one is Crown of Midnight. I'm gonna watch the glare, by Sarah J. Maas. I did read Throne of Glass this month. So this is the second one. I did not expect it to come up so soon. So again, I don't know if I'll get to it during this. Oh, what a sweet dedication for Susan. Best friends until we're nothing but dust and then some. I love that. I love book dedications. So we'll see if I get to that. And then I'm so excited. The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song. This is the second book in the series. I think it's just a duology. I don't think it's going to be a trilogy. I think it's a duology. The first book is The Night Ends with Fire. And apparently, at least in my area of BookTube, I was in the minority for really liking that book, but I did really like it. It's in essence a retelling of Mulan, but I felt like I just really liked the depth that it gave her. It gave her so many more feelings and emotions and so much more happening to the story. I really liked it. So this is the second book in what I believe is a duology. So I think it's the last one. So I'm very excited. I think of those 3 from the library, I'm gonna prioritize that one and see if I can make it through, and it's a gorgeous copy. Okay, now the books I got from my bookstore. Okay, first, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I think this is the last book of all of the Bronte sisters that I have not read, so I'm excited to get to this one. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Anne Bronte's second novel, published in 1848, defends a woman's right to flee a disastrous marriage, a daring subject that her sister Charlotte feared at the time was an entire mistake. When the attractive and mysterious Helen Graham moves into Wildfell Hall with her young son and sets up her artist studio, she arouses village curiosity as well as the amorous interest of farmer Gilbert Markham. Gilbert finds Helen's resolute independence impossible to understand until she allows him to read her diary and her troubled past is revealed. I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. Next is a book, I think it also came out this year, possibly end of last, I'm pretty sure it came out this year. Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I have been eyeing this ever since I saw it was coming out, and I haven't seen too many reviews. Just looking for a publication date. Where is it? Oh, 2024, so last year. I want to say end of last year. Anyways, but look, it's pink. How fun is that? The lady knows the stories, how her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she'll be wed to the Scottish brute who does not leave his warrior ways behind when he comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his hostile, suspicious court will be a game of strategy requiring all of her wiles and hidden witchcraft to survive. But the lady does not know her husband has occult secrets of his own. She does not know that prophecy girds him like armor. She does not know that her magic is greater and more dangerous, and that it will threaten the order of the world. She does not know this yet, but she will. So I'm excited. I'm assuming that it is a spin-off of Shakespeare, Macbeth, but it sounds like it's going to be also like women empowerment and a woman doing what she needs to do to make it through, and I love that in a book. So I am very intrigued to get to this. Next is The Last Letter from Your Lover by Jojo Moyes. I have read one other book only by this author, and it was one of my top reads in 2023, I think. Someone Else's Shoes. I really, really liked that book. So this, apparently there's a movie. I have not seen it, but after I read the book, if I like the book, I will watch it. In 1960, Jennifer Sterling wakes up in the hospital and remembers nothing. Not the car accident that put her there, not her wealthy husband, not even her own name. Searching for clues, she finds an impassioned letter signed simply B, from a man for whom she seemed willing to risk everything. In 2003, journalist Ellie Hayworth stumbles upon an old letter containing a man's ardent plea to his married lover. She becomes obsessed with finding out what happened to the couple. Perhaps if they lived happily ever after, her own complicated affair could have a happy ending too. So it seemed like it would be a somewhat light read, and I am wanting some light reads right now. But also, if it's anything like Someone Else's Shoes, it's also probably going to have a lot of depth and layers, which I enjoy. The next one was on the discount shelf. It was $3.97, so that's great. And it's called Fault Lines. The author's name is hidden. Emily Itami. Mizuki is a Japanese housewife. She has a hardworking husband, 2 adorable children, and a beautiful Tokyo apartment. It's everything a woman could want, yet sometimes she wonders whether she would rather throw herself off her high-rise balcony than spend another evening hanging up laundry and not talking to her husband. Then one night she meets Kiyoshi, a successful restaurateur. In him, Mizuki rediscovers freedom, friendship, and the neon electric pulse of the city she has always loved. But the further she falls into the relationship, the clearer it becomes that she's living 2 lives, and in the end, she can choose only one. Funny, provocative, and startlingly honest, Fault Lines is for anyone who has ever looked in the mirror and asked, who am I and how did I get here? A bittersweet love story and a piercing portrait of female identity, it introduces Emily Itami as a debut novelist with astounding resonance and wit. And the last one, I'm a little, I was going to say scared of. That's not true because I got it. I'm excited about it, but the font is kind of hard to read. The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Michelon. I'm not sure I'll have to look up how to say the author's name because I want to make sure I get it correct, and the font is kind of hard to read. This sounds like it's a thriller, but possibly darker than, anyways, obviously as per my last video, I have been inching towards reading horror, so I think this is going to be a thriller that will help the inching process. Here's the description. Aiden Thomas, a recent widower raising his 13-year-old daughter Cecilia, is a beloved figure in a small upstate New York town, the kind of neighbor who always lends a hand and has a good word for everyone. Aiden also has a dark secret. He's a kidnapper and a serial killer. He has murdered 8 women and there's a 9th marked for death. Rachel, imprisoned for 5 years in a backyard shed. When he and Cecilia have to move, Aiden has no choice but to bring Rachel along, introducing her to Cecilia as a family friend who needs a place to stay. Aiden is betting that Rachel will be too brainwashed and fearful to attempt an escape. But Rachel is a fighter, and she sees in Cecilia the lifeline she's waited for all these years, and in Emily, the local restaurant owner newly interested in Aiden, either an ally or his next victim. Both a searing thriller and an astute study of trauma, survival, and the dynamics of power, The Quiet Tenant is an electrifying debut thriller by a major talent. So, look at me, apparently reading a book about kidnappers and serial killers. I did also check the mail and I got a book that I'm going to be giving one of my sisters for Christmas, so I can't show that because they might see this video. But after Christmas, I will give an update on what books I picked to give to them and what books they gift to me. And so that's my stack. These, obviously the library books, I already said I may or may not get to them. Hopefully I can at least get to The Dragon Wakes with Thunder. This stack, I also don't know when I will get to them. I was debating whether or not I should get anything since I have not been reading much, but I think it was really nice to treat myself to some books for my birthday and also to just do something fun for myself in the midst of a very difficult season of life. So I cannot guarantee that these will be my next, 5 books that I read, but I hopefully will get to them, at least a couple of them, before the end of the year. And if not, I will wrap them and they can join the wrapped physical TBR on my bookshelf. But that's it for today's update.